What's up, everyone? The Panda Photographer here, and we're going to talk about the future of Canon. So, you guys may not like this video, you Canon fanboys, but you may appreciate what I have to say about Canon too. So, let me just get to the point. The future of Canon. Canon cameras, the camera corporation, built out of Japan, billion-dollar business. Why is Canon releasing these mediocre mirrorless cameras? I'm not picking a fight with Canon. I'm not trying to go against Canon because I do love Canon cameras, but there's a certain limit where I won't go with Canon. You don't, for instance, bring out a mirrorless camera that has a serious crop issue in video. If you want to step up to the big boys, once again, Canon, you're gonna have to address the fact that you're skipping out on what's ahead, the future. The future's ahead, but Canon, you also hurt us as photographers that love your product. You forget that we are part of you as a family, as a whole. But when you release these mediocre cameras with mediocre specs, it doesn't seem like you're serious about it. Sony has dominated the market when it comes down to the sensor market. And sales, by the way. They literally crush you off the top of the board. And how did they did that? They played themselves as the third-party camera manufacturer. I remember when Sony A7 came out and A7R came out, everyone was saying, oh, not enough lenses for the mirrorless system. It's a phase. It's going to phase out at some point. But look at now. Everyone is using a Sony. I call that hypocrites to me. I knew mirrorless is going to be a wonderful thing. But what I didn't know, that a whole bunch of you Canon shooters that migrated to Sony are calling yourself now Sony shooters, and now either you guys are collectives or you're artisans now. Come on, you were the ones that actually were bashing Sony, and now you're bashing Canon. I'm kind of confused about that. But here's another thing that I'm confused about Canon. RP, what does that really stand for? I don't understand what that stands for. A smaller mirrorless camera? I see where you're going, Canon. You're trying to elevate here. You're trying to match where Sony is at. You're trying to match where Nikon is at, but you're still not reaching that top where I need you to reach. You're not getting the message from us photographers, from the community. We want you, Canon, to blow our freaking minds away. We want you to bring out a smaller camera like the RP, but with some incredible video features, some incredible IBIS features. I know you have the digital stabilize feature in your sensors, and it's pretty damn good. But I don't want to crop, and if I have to crop in 4K 30 frames a second, I'm going to be really highly disappointed, Canon. Today, you got full-frame cameras that are not cropping at all because it's based on choice. If you want to shoot Super 35, that is based on choice. Don't force it on us. But why do you do it? I want to see dual card slots. I want you to just say, you know what, it's time to move on with the times and try to be where we once were before. Let's try to be the #1 camera manufacturer in the world like we used to be. Canon, I don't want to see one card USS 1 slot and a mirrorless camera. That's just, let's be honest, that's bullshit tech. We want you to go up, kick it up a notch. We want you to tell us, hold on, We want you to tell us what is going to be your choice. Do you want to keep us as photographers, or do you want to keep us as neutral enemies? Because that's what Sony, Nikon, Panasonic, Fuji, and Olympus are doing right now. Olympus is doing something really crazy with Micro Four Thirds, which is incredible. 7 times stabilization. Whoa. And you can hold it. We want to see something, Canon, from your RD department. We want to see something that's going to change the world when it comes down to having all of us be like, damn, I knew Canon was going to do something behind our backs, something amazing. We want to be surprised. We don't want to be surprised by something that's coming out with a RP with mediocre specs, not great ISO performance either. We want to see ISO performance increase. We want to see iris or some type of new technology, stabilization technology that I know you're coming up and cooking up in the RD department. I know you're spicing something up, putting a little bit of ingredients on top of that. Come on, why are you being selfish right now? We want to see a sports camera for sports shooters. It's about time that you bring out a mirrorless camera for Canon sports shooters and wildlife shooters, so we can go out there and shoot with what you have best. The EOS R is okay, but it's not a sports and wildlife camera. We want to see something incredible. Is that fair to say, Canon? Is that my right to tell you that as a consumer and as a photographer, I would like for you to push the bar. Stop letting Sony dominate the bar. Stop letting Panasonic and Nikon push the bar as well. And for you Panasonic users out there, and for you Sony fanboys that hated on Panasonic, I want to make this clear. You guys used to say the same thing about Sony when they came with the A7 and A7R, that they didn't have enough lenses. But you keep forgetting that Sigma and Leica are partnering up with Panasonic, and I guarantee you 2 to 3 years from now, they're going to have a bunch of lenses just like Sony came up and rise to the top with the lenses now and bring out all those optics. And now all you guys are so satisfied. You guys just forgot about what you said 3 or 4 years ago. You forgot about that, did you? So stop being a hypocrite, literally. Because I look back at some old content from 2014, 2015, and I looked at some of the Sony shooters that used to be shooting with Canon or Nikon, and now they said the same thing about Sony, and now they're shooting with Sony. I'm just putting the facts out there, that's all. As the panda photographer, I'm just letting you guys know that I want to see Canon raise the bar. And Canon, if you get this message, I want to see you top the bar. I want to see you take a nice shit on Sony. Sorry for the language, but I really want you to do that. I really want you to right on Sony. Like give them a taste of their own medicine. That's all I want you to do. If you can't provide that, then some of your shooters that are currently or loyal to you are going to move on to something new. They don't want something old. They want something dramatically different. They want something spectacular, but amazing. Something that's going to say, wow. But I don't like the fact that you have lenses that are looking really promising, but you don't have the bodies to actually bring that promise, and that is my problem. And I shot with Canon. Currently, I'm shooting with Sony and shooting with Nikon and shooting with this because that's who I am. I'm the panda photographer. Everything here is not racist here. I'm black, white, Asian, adopted by Japanese parents. It's all about the love here. I give Canon love, and I want to give Canon love, but I can't give Canon love if they can't promise me something that I need as a photographer. That's all I'm saying, Canon. Bring your A game to the table. Stop sitting in the back of the classroom dazing off. What is wrong with you? Seriously, you're like that little kid that used to go to my class and sleep and think he was the exception from the class. No, you're no exception. You are the king of dominating the market. Why can't you do that once more? The PR. Okay. But before we even get into that, guys, alright, before we get into that, I would like to say, guys, please, do me a favor. Go to my new rebuilt, redesigned website, 646studios.com. I got tutorials. I got a portfolio you guys can check out. I changed everything about my website. I changed everything. I even deleted some pages that were not necessary. I even deleted the videography tutorials. There's no more videography tutorials because they're going to have to make a new one because mirrorless cameras are out. So I need to do a new tutorial on mirrorless cameras because a lot of you are shooting on mirrorless cameras these days. So I need to update that. But you go to here, and you know, if you guys want to support the channel, there's a PayPal donation button right here. It really does help me out on this channel. Please do that. But you can also go to my Instagram, the Panda Photographer, all one word, right there displayed. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook, right there, name Keiki Alexander, the Panda Photographer. You want to follow me on Twitter? It's at 646 Studios on Twitter. Okay. And if you want to follow me on Flickr, for some of you that have a Flickr account, you can follow me on Flickr if you want. But Canon ESRP revealed a smaller mirrorless camera, like I said. Now, The Verge, I just love The Verge, but I'm just putting this as a reference. I'm not sponsored by The Verge. I'm not even sponsored by anyone that I mentioned in this video. Alright? I'm sponsored by Meet. I want to give my audience something to remember when this day that the Panda Photographer said something to maybe push Canon and motivate Canon to do something about this ongoing problem with these cameras coming out. The 16 Mark II was okay camera, but old technology. UHS 1 SD card slot, that's not cool at all. That's not very promising at all. But you can hear it in this article on The Verge. They talk about how it's going to be a smaller body, right? But how they written it seems like a bit of humor. Just read the article and you can see a bit of humor, and it's kind of funny. But then again, they're claiming that you will lose the top LCD screen. I'm not sure about that. But there is some images, there's images out here that you see the grip. You see the grip on this smaller camera? You see how it's flat right here by that trigger button? To me, it depends on the user, but economically, my hands are small. That won't be so practical for me. Maybe for medium-sized hands. I got small hands. Look at these hands. Look at these panda hands. These are small. These are not medium. These are not large. I just feel like maybe it can fit around my head. I don't know. I have to like literally get my hands on this camera. But yep, 26.2 megapixel camera, borrowed from the 16 Mark II. And you hear the humor here? I guess that's the humor. That's the humor. Digital 8 image processor, 5 frames per second. We don't need another M50. We don't. We really don't need another M50 at this time. IOS range is from 100 to 4000. I'm gonna say it might top out before seeing any artifacting at 12,500. How about that? Alright? But here's the good thing, Canon users. Alright? The Canon RF lineup, the 85F 1.2 L, the 15 to 35 2.8 IS, the 24 to 70 2.8 IS, the 24 to 24 to 240 mil at 4 to 6.3, which is probably going to be like the kit lens. Then you got the 70 to 200 f2.8 L lens, which is by far looking really good. I forgot the link to post that, but yeah, I'm not quite sure if this is what you Canon shooters are looking for. Now, yes, it's going to be lighter at 485 grams, which is, that's what we're looking for in a mirrorless camera. The EOS R should have been 485 kilograms. Don't you think? That should have been the smaller camera. That should have been the first camera that came up with a smaller body, not bigger like a DSLR. But then again, the EOS R should have been the mirrorless camera for sports shooters and wildlife shooters with a really high megapixel. Or most would not want a high megapixel sensor in there. I'm going to stick around 30 megapixels is pretty good. And I love the fact that Canon went with 30 megapixel sensor on the ESR. But on the smaller version of this PR, it's a 26.2. I'm not seeing the difference. I don't know. Maybe the file size is a little bit different. But we have to see in the future. But with that said, everyone, just want to point that out to you and have you guys take a look at it yourselves and say, and write to Canon. Just write to Canon. Just make a video to Canon. Say, dear Canon, stop choking my chain, taking my money, and give us something that's going to have you force me to give you my money. How about that? But with that said, everyone, I wanted to make this live stream at 12 o'clock because Mondays and Tuesdays is where, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays where I do it at 12 o'clock Central live stream. I'm not in my usual study room apparently because I'm going to be strictly honest. I don't like the fact when people rent the study room and they don't use it for a study room or anything productive other than eating in it like it's a cafeteria, or make a mess in the room that I truly like instead of this room because I don't like this background. But with that said, everyone, as a travel photographer, I'm pissed off because I'm not in 201. That room is so much better. I don't like this background. But then again, guys, it's what it is. As a travel photographer, you can't be picky. But with that said, everyone, thank you for watching. Let me hear your thoughts down in the comments down below. What would you want from Canon? What would you like to see from Canon? And for you Sony fanboys that before you start dumb down in the button, listen, you guys are not really true Sony fanboys because you guys haven't shot with A-mount. Let's get that straight. Until you shoot with A-mount, then maybe I consider you as a fanboy. But you're not fanboys. I don't want to hear it. This is about positivity and some negativity on Canon's part, because the negativity part on Canon's part is that they're just pushing these cameras out. It's probably the same sensor. Who knows? We don't know. We have to see what this RP is gonna give us as a photographer standing here shooting with multiple cameras. I think I'm gonna have to speculate and just wait, and that's all we can do is wait and see. But with that said, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out. If you guys want to support the channel, hit the like button. It really does help. And share the content. Leave a comment down below. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a PayPal link down in the description below. It really does help me out, ladies and gentlemen. Arigato. And eat, sleep, photography, videography, and repeat. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.